dope, the snare and hard kick. This is it. The cocaine and the crack. They all sound the same to me.
During an appearance on the team's podcast show on Monday, Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones says he's not really down with Dez Bryant's behavior. Jones also feels that Bryant lacked the same connection with quarterback Dak Prescott that he had with Tony Romo. Here's what he said in full. Dez is certainly a fiery guy who plays with a lot of emotion both on and off the field. Sometimes that can be a distraction. It can be a distraction for Dez. It can be a distraction for other teammates. Of course, we pay Dez a lot of money, and he knows that. He's as aware of it as anybody. He knows when you get paid that kind of money, there are high expectations in terms of productivity. Those are all things that we have to look at as a team, as an organization, when we start to put our team together.
All right, y'all, here we are once again. We back at it. Our take, and we're going to talk about a hot topic, the NFL, and they're talking about Mr. Dez Bryant, Mr. Cowboy, the Cowboy receiver, the #1 wide on the table with the broken arm. And actually, he should have broken hands, but okay. So, Lee, can you give us the quote that Stephen Jones said on the radio about Dez Bryant and what his take was?
Yeah, hold on, as soon as I find it.
Oh, wow, you got to find it. It pretty much comes down to saying that Dez has been a distraction this past season and that he needs to try and fix his attitude, and also the fact of he's getting paid a lot of money and he's not living up
fake
to
news, man.
It's not.
What is?
Go ahead, I got it.
Start over.
No, get the quote, man.
Go ahead.
Okay, I got it. All right. So the quote is, where are we?
I paraphrase. That's all I did.
It came up. Right here. Okay. All right. It's certainly visible to anyone who watches our games. Dez is certainly a fiery guy who plays with a lot of emotion, both on and off the field, excuse me. Sometimes it can be a distraction. It can be a distraction for Dez. It can be a distraction for other teammates. We just really need to get our hands around what's going on and look at his full body of work.
Hold on, talk about the money part. There's a money part there, too.
Oh.
About his contract.
Well, this isn't talking about the money. We're just talking about the right
something, though.
Go ahead. What's your take?
If you listen to what he said, that made no promise of him coming back.
Exactly.
That made no promise.
That was basically.
We have to look at his body of work.
That's basically. What? It was like this. Like, look, you gonna take this pay cut or you gonna get cut?
And that's what it comes down to. He got to take a pay cut. Dez has to take a pay cut at this point. He's not. The money he got paid for was what he did in the past. And he was a much better receiver in the past. If you're going to pay him off of last year, off of this past season, I'm going to tell you right now, he owe money.
This is about to be heated, y'all. This is going to be 2 segments. I'm saying it right now.
This ain't going to be no 2 segments. We ain't talking about Cowboys for 2 segments.
Yes, we are. Go ahead.
I think, look, if we're talking about from the aspect of Stephen Jones, he's doing what any businessman will do. You know what I'm saying?
Telling the truth.
He's lowering the value of the asset. And this is not all on Dez, no matter what you say. Look, I'm the resident non-Cowboy fan here, and I don't watch a ton of games. But some of this falls on the quarterback as well, man. Has Dez lost a step?
Quarterback is young. Dez is a vet.
That's not an excuse, Mark.
Dez is a vet.
Mark, that's not an excuse, man.
Dez was never. Hold on. Dez was never a huge separation guy. He was never, even in his prime, he was never a huge separation guy. Tony Romo would put the ball in spots where Dez Bryant could go up and compete for it.
When he
He's
had
not
hands.
getting that, huh?
When he had hands.
Listen, Mark. I mean,
the chemistry was there.
Yeah, the chemistry is there.
Dez, clearly,
you know what I'm saying. And it hasn't been developed, or it's just not at the same point.
It had. To me, it's 3 phases: part Dez, part Dak, part coaching. All 3, because coaches should have been coaching Dez up to run better routes, put him in different positions,
which you can't do.
The coaches should have been teaching Dak to, you have to throw these guys open. You can't always just look for
second year.
Quarterbacks do that.
Quarterbacks
do that. You want to know? You want to
say like
you want to know what was coming?
If you're talking to Mark, it's all Dez's fault.
Exactly, which is
all Dez, and it's not.
Which is not.
And I do not like Dez Bryant, but it's not. It's all not. Dez Bryant.
It is all Dez.
Here's where's Dez's fault. Here's what I'm saying. Where's Dez's fault? I got different angles. Dez drops a lot of balls. Like, let's not sugarcoat that. Dez has had some problems dropping the ball. In my opinion, that Seattle game, he may have cost the Cowboys that game with several drops. Now, Dak's ball placement is suspect. Let's call it what it is. It's suspect. He is a second-year player, but still, it's suspect. You know how I feel about the coaching already. Jason Garrett has made no adjustments. They've not. I don't think Dak is in the best position to be developed. I think what happened the year before, again, they had a very healthy offensive line. They had a good running back. They had a great running back that year. And guess what? Unfortunately, when you get a full year of film, the book is written on you. Now it's you got to beat me. So I don't.
So what's the book on Dez?
The book on Dez, in my opinion, is A. I feel that if you look at since he's got that foot injury, he has not been the same. He's not been the same.
But
his production has not been the same.
Go hand in hand?
It does, but let's think about what's happened.
I just asked a question.
Listen, I already discussed the dropper, but let's think about it. So he gets injured, has to work his way back from an injury. Now he's got another quarterback now he's got to create chemistry with. So he's got a twofold problem. Now he's got the dropsies. He's got a threefold problem. So Dez...
He got the slowsies too.
Yeah, and remember the year before, Dez didn't even... I don't think he was in camp like that. He didn't practice like that.
No. This past
year he did.
He was in
the year
camp.
Before he wasn't.
With Dak. They was working out. You remember he posted a lot of Instagram videos of him and Dak working out, and they got this chemistry going.
That still don't mean.
Let's not front like Dak ain't throw a lot of them balls to the 8th row.
Oh, nah, he did. He did. But
what I'm saying is...
the ones in the first row that Dez could have caught, he dropped.
No doubt. He dropped. He had drops, but you can't act like the bad throws didn't happen.
But listen,
those bad throws could have changed the game
receiver
too.
Catching the ball.
His
job is to catch the ball.
Yeah, everybody's job is to catch the ball in the receiver position. It happens.
Yo,
what I'm saying
I'll
is,
take Larry Fitzgerald right now over Dez because Larry can catch the ball
I feel
quarterback.
The ones that's thrown to him. Go ahead, Banks. I'm sorry.
We've all played ball before, right? And we all know when you get on the court with, like, let's say a ball hog or something like that, and then they just throw you the ball, you kind of off your rhythm. All I'm saying is, yeah, you have to be a professional. You have to do your job. You have to catch the ball. I'm not saying that.
So what are you saying then?
What I'm saying is, you can be off your rhythm and you couldn't be expecting the ball like, okay, I'm going to get to go up in 7 years.
Let me just say this.
It doesn't. That doesn't play in your head when you're on the field.
Yes, it does. If you're getting paid to catch the ball, it does.
No, it doesn't.
That's
you
your
think
job.
Dez is out there like, yo, I'm getting $15 million.
Yeah, he should be. Maybe you'll catch the ball.
Okay.
Let me say this. We're kind of deviating off the original question. Is Dez a distraction? Remember, that was...
Is he a distraction?
Is he a distraction?
He keep catching...
So,
if he keep dropping
the
the
thing
ball,
is this. I feel, if you look at... T.O. made some comments about the Cowboys. And he essentially...
What do you mean about the coach?
But it's kind of this... But what he was trying to say is he was telling Dak also, he addressed Dak, the Cowboys mismanagement and how they do over there, they try to find a fall guy for everything. So I think potentially, not saying Dez does or does not deserve it. I'm not saying he does. He does. He is now the fall guy, and he deserves it.
So if you deserve it, then
but it's not all on him. It's just everybody's saying.
Hold on. This is the crazy thing. All right, so Dez catching percentage was 52.3% this year. But he was only credited with 6 drops. So where did the other passes go?
6 drops? He had more than 6 drops.
Again,
he was credited with 6 drops.
Okay.
That's the whole year.
That's maybe the home cooking of
home cooking. That's NFL stats.
That's the NFL stats, bro.
They judge catches.
Yes, you have to be able to catch it. Yes, you have to be able to catch the ball.
At the end of the day, Dez right now is not worth the money. It's not worth it.
I think we all can agree.
Pay cut. If he takes less money and stays, I ain't got a problem with that.
Oh, I agree with that. I agree. Dez should take a pay cut.
But to pay him $14 million?
Work his way back up.
Yeah, to actually get what we just got?
The question is, though, is he a distraction?
I don't think that's a distraction. I don't think that's a distraction.
But see, again, like I said, Leaf didn't have the comments about the contract end of it as well. Part of it was about him being a fiery guy on the team, and is he a distraction?
But we all know that. I
don't
think there's a distraction outside looking in. I'm willing to say that, but I think all it is Stephen Jones is just trying to lower his value to let him know, like
his value should be lowered.
Look, man, let me ask you this: so, what do you say now if Dez doesn't take a pay cut and he goes somewhere else? And
balls.
he has
for him.
1,400 yards. He has 1,400 yards, and then it's 90. He has 90 catches.
I'm
and he
happy
dropped
for
2
him.
balls for the whole year.
I'm happy for him.
Let me ask you a question. Do you say now it was still Dez?
I'll say it again. I'm happy for him because, again, it sounds
Listen,
good. Man, hold on, baby.
You didn't answer the question.
Wait,
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna answer
Thank
the
you. That's what I'm
question.
saying.
If he goes somewhere else and put those numbers up, then it wasn't Dez.
Okay.
Okay. But if he stays here and doesn't put those numbers up, then it's Dez.
I mean,
so
but-
you got to balance it
But
out.
can I say this though? Why dudes just can't have bad years? Like dudes have bad years. It happens.
Doubt,
It happens.
without a doubt. But let me ask you this question: the prior year, last year,
Okay.
not last year, the season prior,
Okay.
was he the Dez that we know?
That's
He's still coming back off that injury.
He got hurt.
So now what I'm looking at is once again, and I said it previously, if Dez has value still left, if Dez has another bad year, you're not going to be able to move him. You're going to have to cut him.
Yeah,
and
I
now
understand
he's a
what you're
cap
saying.
hit.
You're not going to be able to move Dez this year.
You can
Not with
probably
that contract.
package him in
Not
a
with
deal.
that contract.
Greg Jennings.
I'm not.
Greg Jennings said this morning, he was like, Dez,
Take a pay
I'm
cut.
speaking from experience,
Right,
take a pay cut.
I actually heard that too. He was on the other show.
Yeah, the
I don't
other
know.
show.
The other show.
I don't
Shout
know,
out.
man.
But
But what do you do if he doesn't take a pay cut? We talking about
cut
cutting?
him. You have to. You can't pay him that money and get this from
That's a
him.
serious hit though.
Yo, listen, you have to step back from the fandom part and look at it as
No, I
is he
understand.
hurting? Because that contract, his cap hit number, if you're going to take that on, it's only going to hamstring us going
The
forward.
sad thing is that he's the best receiver on the team.
That's the sad.
Outside of him,
Unless you draft a young receiver.
And they definitely should.
I got a question. For
Homeboy
the
from
Cowboys
Memphis.
fan. Is Dez still top 10 in the NFL in terms of receivers?
No.
Avery?
absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely not.
Leaf about to do a quote. Went from top 5 to not mention it all.
Well, you know what? I've been saying for the past year and a half or so that Dez is he's not proving himself to
That's
be
mad
elite.
disrespectful. Put that down.
He's
bro.
not.
You want to know what's so crazy? And I said this to Banks in the beginning. Might have been like week 5, week 6. And I was like, yo, it looks like Tony really made
Yes.
Dez.
He made
Wow.
it look better. He did. He did.
You know, we're going
And don't get me wrong, Dez made some
You see what Bryce
incredible
Butler
catches.
said though?
We're gonna go
I need to be
into-
number 1.
Did you see what Bryce Butler said about Tony?
No, what he said. Go ahead.
That dude said Tony was the offense. The coaches didn't do anything. Tony made the game plan every Saturday. Every week, he made the game plan.
Too bad we couldn't win with him.
Yeah, too bad he's trash on CBS right now.
But,
Terrible.
But actually,
Terrible.
Actually, we're going to come back for another segment.
Told you.
I have
Told
another
y'all.
question off of this because of it's about Dez and let me bring it back. So we'll be right back. This is our take. We'll be right back.
Be right back.
Shout out, y'all.
Peace.
All right, here we are. We back at it. So let's go right back into it, talking about Dez Bryant. So let me ask this question: If you lose Dez and you let Dez go, where do the Cowboys go from there?
The hell?
Because you'll have no number 1 receiver. Let's say, and not looking at the draft because we don't know. No,
Kid from Memphis.
Get in the draft. But the question I'm going to have with the receivers we have now: is it possible to make any of them a number 1?
Thank you, Avery. Thank you.
I bring that up
Thank
because
you.
of Bryce Butler. Because Bryce Butler said,
Bryce-
no, he wants to
He
be
won't even
number
be
1.
back, man. He's not coming back.
Bryce Butler has potential to be a very good 2.
And Terrence Williams go over the 1.
Who's that? I have no idea who that is.
Yo, stop it, man. No, and no.
Okay. So with that
Gotta
being
draft
said,
somebody. You gotta
okay.
draft somebody.
With that being said, is the Cowboys hamstrung then with having to keep Dez because he's an in-house number 1 that knows the system and really has to try and get on the same page with Dak or Dak with the same page with him?
He's no Odell. I mean, we can all admit that, right?
Yeah, we can.
I'm pretty
admit
much done after that. Yeah, talk y'all Cowboys.
I will say this. I think we would have to get wide receivers that fits Dak's skill set.
Which is what?
I don't like that. I know what you're doing right now, but I'm gonna let you.
Which is what? What is his skill set?
You have to see the guy open. Quick guys that can get open really fast. More Cole Beasleys, Wes Welker,
Yo,
Julius
listen.
Edelman
Let's
type of
address the
player.
elephant in the room. You
What's
don't
up?
like that.
No, that's a lie.
Understand that.
That's a lie.
You don't like
That's
that.
a lie.
You
I
don't like
just-
the way he plays.
No.
That's a lie.
No.
That's a lie.
No. Let's be honest. We want to hit honesty. he loves Dez and he hates that because
No, it has nothing to do with
It has
that.
nothing to do with that. Listen.
because
This
Dez
is what the problem is.
can't be the problem.
No, this is what the problem is.
Who said that? Y'all,
Dak's not playing well, man. I mean, we can all admit that. Dak's not playing well. But go ahead, talk y'all.
Nah, I just think until he gets better, it's an all around effort. Shit, we gotta look at our offense.
I think the offensive line has a lot to do with it. Time has a lot to do with it.
Offensive coordinator, listen, man. When the other squad know what you're doing, it's a problem, man.
Yo, what did T.O. say?
Predictable.
Jason Garrett cannot make adjustments.
And y'all been saying that for a while. I'm not even going. Y'all two been saying that for
What
a while.
adjustments this guy makes, man. So we can we can blame Dez all day. It's not just his fault.
But let me ask a question then.
Would say
If
Dak
Dez
Willis this year.
leaves Dallas, can you look at a team and says Dez can walk on that team and
Green Bay.
be a number one? A number one? He can be number one over Jordy Nelson?
Yes.
Why you keep saying Jordy Nelson's better than Dez?
With Aaron Rodgers' skill set, hell yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is going to get him the ball.
So Jordy Nelson will move to the 2.
Jordy Nelson practically they 2 to me now.
Really?
Somebody told me Jordy Nelson was better than Dez.
He is.
Now after this year, I'm gonna have to
said it last year.
I'll concede that.
I said it last year.
In Green Bay, they just paid a receiver.
Adams.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Devontae Adams?
Oh, no,
Just paid him.
They extended him. Yeah, they extended.
Anyway, but
And-
he'd excel in Green Bay.
I think he likes selling Denver too. I mean, not Denver. Excuse me. I'm New England.
Anybody?
I'm not. No, everybody. No, that's not true. That's
Brandon
not true.
Cooks.
I mean,
Chad Johnson.
Chad Johnson. You've had what's his name went there. The one that had the DWI. He went there.
Michael Floyd.
Michael Floyd.
Michael Floyd wasn't that good. Chad Johnson, I give you. But Chad said it was different when he walked in that building. He just said it just felt different.
Well, what other team can you see him going on and be the number one?
Number one.
A number one. Walking in the door, he's the number
Seattle.
one. Over Doug Baldwin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So hold on, wait. Okay, so knowing the offense has nothing to actually do with this, you could just walk in and you're just gonna boom, boom,
I
boom.
say he's
like
gonna
that.
learn the
Yeah,
playbook
he's
like
gonna learn
the
the
back of his
playbook.
hand, but I think he's better than Doug Baldwin.
He definitely
opportunity.
couldn't go to the Giants to be the number one. I know that for a
I
fact.
just why is he even here? I don't see why.
I ask that question every week.
I'm just saying.
So okay. So Seattle, he can walk on. Dez right now
Listen,
can walk on Seattle.
yeah,
and be
Washington.
number one.
You name it.
Washington, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Chicago.
Maybe Washington.
Maybe Washington. Who's better than
Washington.
Dez on Washington right now?
I have to think about it.
This
Terrell
is
Pryor.
smart- This is smart for the team, but can he be successful is the question. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you could be the number one receiver, but can you be successful on that team? A team without a quarterback. I mean, you go to Chicago. What's the guy's name over there?
Trubisky.
Trubisky. I mean, I don't know. He's gonna have the same problem he's got with Dak.
Is Kevin White still on that team?
Yeah.
Did he get hurt again?
He got hurt again.
Every
It
year.
may be over.
Yeah,
Buffalo.
I think this
What
is
about he
last
go to
year.
Buffalo?
Yeah.
They got Benjamin. Is he better than Benjamin?
Just another person always hurt.
You look at me like
I
that.
just asked. I just want to know. Is he better than Calvin Benjamin?
They didn't use
Jets.
Kelvin this year. The Jets. I like Richie Anderson, man.
I like Richie
Robbie
Anderson.
Richie
Anderson.
Anderson, too.
Robbie Anderson?
Robbie
Robbie
Richie
Anderson.
Anderson.
Richie Anderson.
Whoa, that guy might not be on the Jets by the end of this segment. By the end of this segment, this guy might not be. I can't even repeat on camera what he said to that officer about the officer's wife.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
But I mean,
they gonna cut him.
I think Dez can. I think Dez certainly has some productivity in him. Again, I'm a system believer.
What's productivity? I mean, his numbers this year was under 700 yards, I think, right?
Yeah, horrible.
Under 700.
Horrible.
All right, and he had less than 80 catches, I think.
Way less than that.
I would assume.
1 second.
Look, I'll say this. I think Dez.
60. I'm sorry.
Right.
69 receptions, 838 yards.
Yeah.
Which is solid production for a number two
For a number-
receiver.
Yeah, for number two,
Yeah.
receiver, a little bit better.
Shit, Demarius Thomas had 83 receptions.
But he's a number one though.
He didn't have that great year.
He's the number one.
Look, man, I think
Marvin
Dez can go.
Jones,
I think Dez can go somewhere and be productive still, man. I think Dez got another 1,000-yard season in him. 80 catches, 1,000
Listen,
yards. I think he can do that.
The one thing which I'm going to say, and I'm not a Chris Carter fan, but the one thing he said which was interesting is Dez has not learn a lot of other routes. He's an ex-receiver. He can only stay
That was said
pretty much
some
on
years ago.
the
Shout
outside.
out to Chris Carter for using Dez Bryant to get his own show. That show was dope.
Wow.
Yo, but
Wow.
let's
But
be
I'm
real.
just saying. But the information he gave
Was accurate.
was definitely
Was accurate.
make sure-
Was accurate. I agreed.
Now it's no Leaf when we first said it. When you first said it,
I disagree.
you said Dez is an X, Y, and Z receiver. He knows all the routes and he can run the entire
He
route.
knows all the route with Tony Romo. He knows all the routes with Tony
he's a
You know
Romo.
all the routes. You know all the routes, man.
But here's the problem, though. Yo, Dez.
You
think
can't
about-
really say if he know all the
Think about what we just said. Dez doesn't know the route tree, right?
No, it's not the route tree. What it is that he can line up as an ex-receiver. He can't play flanker. He doesn't have the skill set, the speed to play flanker.
Is it the
Like
skill set?
Odell Beckham. Like
Let me
Odell
say this.
Beckham.
Is it the skill set? Or is it the coaching?
Ola Beckham only run for
I'm just
four
asking.
routes. But
It's only like he gets open.
Dez,
Doesn't matter.
Again.
Dez is limited in what he can do, so they keep him as an ex-receiver. If he goes somewhere else, he would need to redefine himself
Coaching.
to
Coaching. Can I say something?
coaching.
Because the quarterback
And
did
desire
have some.
also.
Because Avery said this one time, and I totally agree with him before. Because when Ben Roethlisberger is out, number 84 does not look the same at all.
Listen, it's chemistry, man. Chemistry and coaching, man.
And
I'm just because if you're that dude, it doesn't matter. You feel what I'm saying? If you're that wide receiver, it doesn't matter who your QB is. Your production should always be the same, right or wrong.
right.
True though? Is that true?
No, it's not. But that's that's how people make it look.
Actually, the one example I always use is Larry Fitzgerald. His numbers don't change no matter who's throwing him the ball.
They were all good quarterbacks throwing the ball.
Who? Drew Stanton? Drew, come on now. Drew Stanton was a good quarterback?
No, but I will
You
say
don't even
this.
know who Drew Stanton is. He's a baseball player.
No, he used to be in the Yankees organization. Exactly what it is. But Larry Fitzgerald lines up all over the place where they make it. That's all coaching though, where they make it easier for him to get open.
Okay.
He's not the same guy that's going to get open on the outside anymore. But as a flanker, as a slot receiver, he can get open.
I'm just going to share the
Life
story.
is Jason Witten.
I'm just going to share the story that Chris Carter put out there. And Chris Carter said Larry Fitzgerald last year, they went to him, the coach went to him and told him, if you want to prolong your career, we want to move you into the flanker spot, move you around. Larry Fitzgerald was upset at it at first, but he said, I'll do it. And if you see the last 2 years, his numbers have stayed the same because he redefined himself. So a lot of it is desire that was on Larry Fitzgerald's side as well as coaching. Coach has seen it.
Right.
So only thing I'm saying to you is it's not easy to just say a guy goes somewhere and it's going to be seamless.
I will say
Not
this.
always
Look,
seamless.
Chris Carter
I'm going to say I'm throwing Odell in there.
He's dry
But this is
snitching.
He's bitter. He's bitter. This is
not about the Giants, but it's about being a number one receiver and being able to move all over the field because they move Odell everywhere. He lines up on the left, he lines up on the right, he lines up in the slot position. If you
Because
are
of the
true,
speed, though.
But that's what I'm saying. But if
Because
you
of
are
the
a
speed.
true number one receiver, your main objective should be to get the ball no matter where they line
I'm about
you
to
up
jump out
at.
the window. I don't think Odell is a great route runner, though.
He doesn't have to be,
that's,
though.
That's my point. I just think
His speed makes up for it.
He knows how to find the sore spots. He's got a good feel of the
But
game.
we're going to learn something this season coming up because the foot injury he has is not easy to actually come back.
We'll see.
And will he have the same speed? Will he be able to have the same mobility? Because a lot of it has to do with his
He's working.
Come on, man.
Wow.
He's do that.
He's not baby. What I will say this. What I will say this. Something that I had to learn is that we generally feel like when somebody's on the field, they're ready to go and they're 100% back. That's not always the case. So you may not see the same Odell this year. It might take
a year,
half the year.
It
might take until a year after to see the same guy that you did. You might never come back to that. It might be that.
You know what's so funny? Remember, Banks knows this. Julio Jones said it's going to take Dez 2 years.
2 years to come back from that. That foot injury is no joke.
I remember you saying that.
That's right.
He got a screw in that? He got a screw in this one?
I didn't do the surgery, so I'm not sure.
But, yo, Dallas, let's
son, you from Brooklyn, so you gonna let him smack you like that, son?
Word, he smacked shit out you.
Don't worry, I got the heat under the table. It's all right.
Yo, Dez, all you got is chips under the table. Yo, Dez, take that pay cut and let's get rid of everybody else. We could probably keep Bryce Butler, though.
No.
I like Noah Brown, too.
I actually like Noah Brown.
I liked him at Ohio State,
but they're not using him. So there it is, another thing that he's not getting on the field much.
We care.
Yes, we do. So listen, Cowboy Nation, we just want to tell you, keep tuning in. We appreciate it. This is our take.
I don't. Y'all
Yes,
can all die.
peace.
Y'all can all die.
Yeah.
Not the fans, but keep tuning in.
Slay, dog. Snare and hard kick. This is it. The cocaine and the crack.
They all sound the same to me.
There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. Take me out of here.
Tell them what we came from. That's how I'm living.
That's how we do it. That's just the way it is. That's the reason why I came to you. Drink and women and money.